Another minute, folks. Awesome. Fantastic. So we're going to take another minute and wait for folks to jump on, but thank you for joining.
You guys are in for a treat. I think this is an exceptional woman who has a lot of talent, and we are super excited to share it with you guys.
Okay. Looks like everything's good to go. I think we should get started. So welcome to today's Peek at Home webinar. Peek at Home is a collection of webinars and lessons that you can do at home with little or no materials. Peek is an educational program provided through the Energy Coalition. And the Energy Coalition, or TEC, pronounced TEC, is a nonprofit organization with over 45 years of experience designing and implementing strategies that transform energy use and inspire people to take responsible energy actions.
My name is Adriana Sotelo, and I am with the Energy Coalition in the Education and Outreach field with TEC. I am located in the Central Valley in a small town called Merced, the gateway to Yosemite.
And my name is Jack, and I'm with the Energy Coalition as well, also in the Education and Outreach field, but I'm located in the Inland Empire in Southern California.
And we are excited to show you this video of Natalia doing what she loves, and we hope it encourages you to create a magical film yourself. While watching this video, we would like you to take notes and think about what type of skills Natalia needs in order to perform her job. Afterward, we'll do a small activity that will map out Natalia's daily skill set. Sending it back to you, Jack.
Before we watch our video of Natalia, we want you to pay close attention to what she does and how she got to where she is today in the STEM world. Now, with further ado, here is our STEM hero, Natalia Valerdi-Rogers. Action.
Hi everyone, this is Zoe at the Energy Coalition. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm really excited to introduce this next installment of our My Energy Future webinar series, where STEM professionals, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, tell you a little bit about what they do and how they got here. Today, Natalia Valerdi-Rogers will be sharing her story with you. Thanks for joining us, Natalia.
Hi everyone, my name is Natalia, and I'm really excited to be talking with you today about what I do and sharing some things. I work at the Media Arts Center San Diego right now, and I take teaching artists to school so they can teach film classes to students. I also make films about the community in the area, which is North Park in San Diego, and also City Heights, where there are a lot of refugees and migrants from other countries. I also really like showing off their culture and helping other people learn about that diversity that we have in our beautiful city, San Diego. And I really hope that helps other people see things from different perspectives. I was born in Mexico City and grew up in a little town called Ensenada that's near the San Diego-Tijuana border. It used to be a little fishing town, but it's gotten very touristy, so maybe you visited. My little brother, his name is Ricardo, and he's about a year and a half younger than I am. When I was about 12 years old, we decided to move to San Diego because my dad's business was doing really well in San Diego and he was traveling a lot. So it just made more sense to live in San Diego than in Ensenada. So here I am. My dad was an engineer by training. He got his doctorate degree from the University of Houston and created the first cell phone company that connected the United States and Mexico. And it was a really unusual thing back then that there wasn't any of that back then when he was around. So it was pretty cool to have one of the very first cell phones, which was about as big as a piece of brick. But you can't imagine that right now because our cell phones are so small. He taught me how to code, and he always encouraged me to use a computer when I was little. And none of the other kids really had computers back then, so that was pretty neat. My brother grew up to be an engineer too, and you can see him on the right is showing off his love for baseball with his organization called the Science of Sport, where he teaches kids how to use math using sports. When I was little, all I wanted to do is be a ballerina, so I was successful at accomplishing that. But I was always doing a little bit of work with computers in the back, and I was always curious about things and asking questions. My parents were probably going crazy, but I persisted with trying to learn about the world and computers. I think that my artistic side came from my grandfather, which you can see on the left. And he was a famous painter and sculptor in Mexico City. And I remember painting a lot with him, but I always wanted the pictures to move. So I think that's why I got interested in video. There you can see me on the right dancing with some of my friends. And some people think that I look like I'm flying a little bit. So that was a really fun picture. So I started school at University of Utah, but that wasn't really my favorite experience. I was having a hard time figuring out how I wanted to pursue my career. So I decided to put a little pause on school, and I moved to Europe, and then I moved to Mexico City to pursue my dance career and dance with different companies and did different kinds of modeling kinds of dance performances. They were really fun and interesting, and I did a lot of meeting different people in different areas of the countries that I was living in. But then at some point I wanted to go back to school to start working more with technology again. So I finished my bachelor's degree at UCSD, and I did really well. I got honors and everything. And then I went to pursue my master's degree at UC Irvine, where I could really dig into the merger of dance and technology. So there's a video that I can share with you that is about my master's thesis, which was basically a test on how to use a system that took the dancer's video and then reflected it back onto him. So if you can see, there's like an echo of his image next to him, and then the effect changes, and now it's gonna do something like burn the image on screen. So wherever he is dancing is gonna be a different color. It's gonna be darker, and then when he leaves the space, it goes to be white again. So after I finished school, I went to begin my teaching career at various community colleges, and eventually I went back to teach to the school that I went to, UCSD. And as I was teaching, I was also working as an artist, doing videos for everybody's dances. And one of the things that I did with that was this thing called video projection design. You can see an example of that on this slide, but the video is in the background and the dancer is in the middle. And the video tells part of the story of what the dancer is doing. In this case, the words are actually moving around the dancer, so there's a little bit of trying to figure out what's going on. So see if you can figure out what that sentence actually will turn out to be. I think you can probably figure it out. It was really great when I was able to talk to people to understand their issues or what their challenges were, and then if I could try to be really, really flexible and try to come up with some solutions to their problems, things went really well. It was really hard when I was stubborn and maybe didn't want to listen to other people's ideas. So I learned to be more flexible more often and to figure out where it was good for me to be not flexible, to try to find a balance between the two. So I think that one of the important things about video is that it's really one storyline, one point of view, and that if someone else was to make the same video, maybe their point of view would be a little bit different. So I want you to try this activity where you can practice this perspective game. Basically, all you have to do is don't change where you are standing or seated, and pick up your hands and do this kind of director's box with your hands. And then put it right in front of you, just to practice. And then everybody as a group pick an object that's the same. Everybody's gonna look at the same thing. Maybe it's a water bottle, maybe it's something on the board, maybe it's something on the screen, and you're going to look through your box at that object. And then try to memorize what you see and when you don't see. And then compare with other people in the room and see if everybody sees the same thing or if people see something different. Ideally, you're looking at a three-dimensional object in the room, something that is in the space, maybe that's not on a flat surface. So this game could really work. Maybe you actually all look at the person that's in the middle of the room and everybody could see a different side of that person's hair or a different side of their shirt. And it really tells the story of the same person, but everybody's telling this story from a different perspective or a different point of view. So that's it for me. I just want to share with you some of my point of view.
Thanks so much for sharing your
We hoped you enjoyed listening to Natalia and what she does and how she got there. Now, for the rest of our time, we're going to do an activity called skills mapping. Can you direct us to that, Jack?
Yeah. So basically, we'll be connecting all the different skills that Natalia has or uses in order to understand how she does her job. We have technical, workplace, interpersonal skills, which all Natalia with different parts of profession. So first, let's get a piece of paper you have in front of you, draw an image we have here, and put Natalia's name in the middle. So take about a minute, get a piece of paper, make some notes. If you got a computer with you too, you can make some notes there, and draw the little cloud and some of the branches that we have right here. So we're gonna take a little bit of time and do that. I got a piece of paper here too. So I'm going to draw a little thing. Okay, so after you draw your little cloud, you're going to draw 3 little branches coming off of it, each with a little oval at the end. And this is where we'll write our technical skills.
After you do that, have 2 branches come off of those ovals and draw a diamond or any shape you'd like. And this is where our workplace skills will go. On the other branch, put a hexagon on the end, and this is where interpersonal skills will go. Once you're done, with your skills map, let's talk about the different types of skills we'll be covering.
So the first skill we'll be covering is technical, which are skills that are abilities and knowledge needed to perform specific tasks. Working at energy in our STEM fields requires a good understanding of scientific principles and concepts.
Thank you, Jack. And after we cover our technical skills, we'll be connecting the workplace skills, which are basic types that are easy to cross over to different jobs. Next will be interpersonal skills, which are behaviors a person uses to interact with others in the workplace. We'll cover both types of skills further in the lesson.
So first, let's go over our technical skills. As you can see, we have multiple skills that are listed here, but what we like to do is pick one skill that you think Natalia commonly uses for her career and post it in the chat. What skills do you think she uses, Adriana?
I think she uses design direction.
Design direction? I see in the chat, data visualization. Yeah, that's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely when she's working with a lot of people, big groups or teams, when it comes to her projects, she's probably having to really bring all that together. So data visualization is a great one to use.
Mm-hmm. And then she does also the frame that she has. When she's looking around everywhere, she does the little frame blocks with her fingers just to make sure it's a good shot.
Yeah. Design thinking is another one in chat I see. That is a great one. Strategically creative approach used by designers. She talked about being creative, using that creativity. Well, awesome. I like those answers. So the main technical skills that Natalia demonstrates for a job, our first one being design direction. Because Natalia works with others in bringing one's artistic vision to life, she needs to be able to direct that vision into reality. Having good design direction will really help her in her career with that. Her next technical skill is something called process thinking. Film has a lot of moving parts. Making a film, making a movie takes a lot of effort. Besides just recording and using that technology, you need actors, you need costumes, props, and many, many teams to finish a film. So process thinking how to start that and end it and all the in between allows Natalia to combine all these components together to finish into a great product. And then her last skill and last technical skill she uses is design thinking. Even if you plan everything beforehand, you'll still run into problems. Being creative is something Natalia enjoys doing, and design thinking helps her creatively solve challenges that might happen during the planning of her films.
Thanks, Jack. So for our next set of skills, these will be our workplace skills, which, as we mentioned, are the basic skills a person like Natalia must have to succeed in any workplace. These are the skills that help Natalia navigate all the different types of roles and teams needed to produce a film. So we will be doing the same here with our workplace skills. Choose a skill you think Natalia demonstrates and post it in the chat for us to see. What do you think, Jack?
I think definitely creativity is a good one to have. Oh, and that just popped up in the chat too.
That's very popular. I think she has a lot of attention to detail. If you think about it, doing film is very, very intricate with everything that it entails. So with photos, coloring, the environment, the genre, everything is very sensitive. And I think that she has like the perfect, what is it, the whole package, you should say?
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang.
Yeah.
Direct talk.
I did see a few in the chat. Resource planning is a great one. Strategic planning is needed. Absolutely, both of those are really good. You have to be strategic in how you use your resources and how you plan for all those. So it's really important when you're definitely on a very short time scale for some of these projects, and when you're trying to beat those time limits.
Sweet. I have some great replies. So the main workplace skills that Natalia uses for her job is deliverable design, being able to analyze and sorry, I got stuck.
That's okay.
Being able to design and give the audience what it's looking for, being if it's a documentary or anything else like that, being able to give the audience what it wants. Strategic planning, scope management, being able to keep track of everybody on what their job duties are, making sure everything runs smoothly. And for our last one, it is data collection. So if she is doing a big project on either whatever genre she is doing, a documentary on, it could be San Diego or anything else, her hometown, she wants to make sure she has all that information before pursuing and continuing this big project that she has in mind.
For just a short while we get through these.
Okay, so Jack, you had a little technical difficulty there, so I'm going to go ahead and repeat what you said, okay? For our last set of skills, we'll be covering interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are the behaviors a person uses to interact well with others. These skills include communication, manners, and listening skills. Now choose an interpersonal skill you think Natalia demonstrates and post it in the chat for us to see. Confidence, passion,
I see strong work ethic too.
mm-hmm.
Do I sound better right now?
You do. We
Oh,
thought we lost you.
awesome.
I'm sure Natalia goes to these all the time.
Yeah, it's just a matter of these things.
Just the way the business goes, huh?
Yeah. I think definitely she has a lot of passion, positivity, ideation those are great interpersonal skills to have in this field.
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome. I think we got some good replies. You want me to take it over from here, Adriana?
Go for it. Back to you, Jack.
Awesome. The main interpersonal skills we saw Natalia demonstrates for her job were definitely passion and enthusiasm, being able to do something connected back. As Natalia mentioned, she's from Ensenada, and one of the main passion projects she has is being able to focus on refugee groups, and that really helps her go through her projects and being connected to them deeply and helps her with her work ethic. And her next skill she demonstrates is learning agility, of course. She picks up different skills really quickly, and that is something to do in fast-paced environment like doing film and productions of films. And her last skill that Natalia demonstrates is a strong work ethic. Being able to connect that with her strategic planning and her process thinking, that really helps her get through all the different steps that are required from start to finish in these filming projects with all these different teams. So strong work ethic is really needed during these times.
Awesome. That sounds great. We hope that this look into Natalia's skills has been a helpful guide for you to understand her career. Now, we have an activity for you to do called Think Like a Director. We want to hear what your movie would look like. We want you to pick a topic or a photo that is listed here and tell us why you picked this. What genre will your film be? Tell us why you chose this. What type of skills do you think it will take to create your film? So in the chat, we would like to sum it up in 3 words. Your genre, what details would it take to be, what details it would take to create your film, and what skills would it take? And what kind of director would you be? So it'll take a little bit of time to figure that out. But Jack, what do you think?
I mean, for myself, I think definitely the genre I like to do is documentaries. I like documentaries. I think they're great. I watch a lot of them. Something ocean related, maybe. So I would probably be the first picture in this group here. In terms of what it'll take to actually, like what type of skills it'll take, I think definitely resource planning is a great one to have, and strategic thinking. I think a passion and enthusiasm is something that's gonna absolutely be needed. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, though, I think a strong work ethic is what's gonna really have to happen. Knowing folks who do movies, it's definitely like up at dawn, going to sleep at midnight. It can be long, long days for folks. So I would do a documentary, have strong work ethic, words. And I think I would be a pretty happy director. I think I would be happy-go-lucky, you know? I'd be calm, but really enthusiastic about everything people do. Even if someone flubs up or there's just like, we have to do a scene 20 times over or we don't get that shot, then I'd still be happy to be out there.
Well, that's good. Hopefully you can make a ocean documentary one day.
Hopefully. I know who I'll get as a writer. You, Adriana. Have all the puns in there.
Oh yeah, you have to have puns.
How about yourself, though?
I think I would do like a romantic comedy, more like a chick flick. I think those are always fun. You know, you have people who think like you, and some of the things that, you know, other females can relate to. And I think that one you would need a lot of design direction and process thinking and strategic planning as well, because it takes a lot to understand what girls go through, and then, you know, just life in general. You never know.
Yeah.
And I think one of those is it would be fun to do like a chick flick. I always think back of the movie White Chicks, kind of something like that, and then you know, with something going on in the background or stuff like that. So who knows, maybe I'll create one of those.
That would be fun. I would definitely go see that.
So we have mystery and we have a comedy. And then we have a comment says, I'd be a sleepy director who works with writers to build plots and trust actors to improvise scenes that get there.
Okay, I like that, the improvisation. Yeah. Sometimes there's really good scenes like that, letting people do what they need to do.
Yeah, let them be their own creative. And then we have our comedy is creative, strong work ethic, but a fun leader.
Oh, I think that would be me too. If I didn't do a documentary, I'd do a comedy.
Yeah, or I'd do like a cowboy western film. I think those are fun. I like horses, so of course.
Well, thank you for your replies, folks, and think about this and what type of movies you want to be doing. And also take what Natalia Valerdi-Rogers said. Try to frame some of those different things in your life, especially when we're all indoors. Try to frame different things in a different perspective. Next slide, though. And thank you for joining us. You can see us also next Thursday, where we'll have a peak lesson run through on Thursday, April 30th at 1 to 2 p.m. So catch that. It is going to be Pollution Solution, which I hear is a really fun one about greenhouse gases.
Well, Jack, I guess that's our wrap.
That sounds like a wrap there. And if you want, if you like any more information, join us at peakstudents.org. This is where you can find the Peak at Home lessons. This is where you can find our webinars and many, many other activities for distance learning. We really liked having you, and let's call it a cut.
And cut.
Thank you for joining us, folks.
Bye, everybody.
This webinar was brought to you by the Energy Coalition. With NGSS-aligned and environmentally focused STEM lessons, the Energy Coalition provides Peak at Home, digital lessons designed to support your students' curiosity for science and exploration from the comfort of home. To sign up is quick and easy. Simply visit the Families Corner of the Peak website at peakstudents.org/families-corner. There, you can complete the registration form for access to our full Peak at Home library and for more information on all Peak program offerings.